Jusant initially appeared as a seriously remarkable game, capturing my attention with its undeniable beauty and remarkable climbing mechanics. It was a magnetic attraction, akin to love at first sight, drawing me closer with each passing moment. However, as our journey together unfolded, this enchanting allure was overshadowed by a series of glaring red flags, ultimately leading me to conclude that Jusant's promise of greatness ultimately fell short. To be completely clear, I want to avoid sounding overly critical all at once. I plan to kick the video off by giving the game the praise it deserves, focusing on its strengths. You'll fully understand how these good qualities turn bad in just a few minutes. Jusant will receive a fair assessment of the game's qualities and areas of improvement, as I'm a lover of gaming and think that being solution focused is much more efficient than being problem focused and simply whining. As I ventured into the deserted world of Jusant, I was immediately drawn to the game's charm. It had all the ingredients for an unforgettable gaming experience. A stunning, immersive world that made me feel like I was on an urgent mission to save the world from some mysterious force with my ballast buddy. Gameplay so refined that I lost track of time, climbing insane environments and nearly avoiding a terrifying death from falling Lord knows how far down. Not to mention an awesome soundtrack. Let's explore these wonderful aspects that made Jusant a journey worth taking. First of all, the climbing mechanics find a sweet spot between accessibility and depth, offering a learning curve that makes them easy to pick up but hard to master, as the game constantly introduces new challenges that keep the player guessing. The game distinguishes itself by providing a challenge without combat, offering a tranquil puzzle-solving experience. Players are rewarded with a variety of collectibles including cairns, frescoes, and letters, each adding depth to the narrative. The word Jusant is carefully crafted, with locations naturally leading back to familiar places, creating a seamless and immersive environment. In the world of gaming, finding the perfect balance in game length is often elusive, but Jusant masterfully strikes that equilibrium, clocking in at a succinct 4 hours for the main storyline. The game ensures it doesn't overstay its welcome, attempting to respect the time of its players. However, the allure does not end there. Jusant extends an open invitation for exploration and collectible hunting, allowing these eager to delve deeper into breathtaking landscapes and uncover hidden narratives to stretch their gameplay time significantly. Something that impressed me about Jusant was the fact that every single chapter featured a completely new environment, very diverse environments, each chapter bringing a refreshing shift in scenery and atmosphere, ensuring that monotony never kicks in. From lush forests to ancient ruins to bustling caverns and desolate deserts, Jusant keeps players engaged by introducing unique settings at every turn, each offering its own set of puzzles, mysteries, and challenges. Beyond its well-timed pacing and captivating landscapes, Jusant gifts players with moments of sheer wonder that remained etched in memory long after the controller is set down. In the end, Jusant may be a brief journey, but it's one filled with captivating diversity and many unforgettable moments. In my opinion, it's essential to emphasize the many things that make the game praiseworthy. Stunning visuals, captivating climbing mechanics, and the diverse world are all commendable. Unfortunately, this is where the game begins to fall flat. This is also going to act as a spoiler warning, so if you want to play this game before hearing my raw thoughts on it, click the link in my description and get Game Pass already. It's free on there. Okay, here we go. First of all, I want to talk about how fake deep this game is. To clarify, this game is shallow. I mean, how can a game this vertical be so one-dimensional? When the game begins, we meet not only our character, but his little ballast buddy who just chills on our backpack while we climb an insanely dangerous mountain with no clear survivors anywhere. I thought that slowly, our little dude would grow to learn abilities, or maybe our character will have to accomplish something difficult that didn't involve just climbing. But I guess the people who made this game couldn't come up with anything at all. Maybe they wanted to avoid violence, which makes sense, but making an exploration-driven game with no personality does not. Every time the character reaches a checkpoint, they have the same reaction. They blow a horn, and they move on. So, they only feel one emotion. pretty unrealistic considering how many times we narrowly avoid our death in this game. Considering every time we blow the horn, that's kind of our payoff moment, having it be to where the payoff never changes tends to get boring after the first 2 chapters. That's how long it took for me to realize that this was going to be a cliche story with a predictable ending. Deliver animal to bomb. That's the story. I literally called it in the first hour of playing. The longer you play, the more you realize you're playing a climbing simulator. Tomb Raider without the guns. Shadow of the Colossus without the Colossus. Or the motivation of knowing what's even going on. By the way, maybe you like games like this, but I think it's lazy. Like, hey guys, we just spent all this effort on an amazing soundtrack and crazy pretty graphics. Why do we need writers again? So they just didn't pay for any. They decided that they would just say nothing at all and then stall you out until you end with boring letters and pretty wall pictures and literal piles of rocks. Is this for real? They made the world feel old and rustic, but literally that's it? There are bugs everywhere and bugs you can use to climb, and there are no animals who eat the bugs, no real ecosystem at all, or any plants for the bugs to eat, because you kind of have to create the plants with your magic horn. Maybe I just don't know anything about these creatures, because I don't know anything about these creatures. They don't tell you anything about these creatures at all. I guess I was just hoping that after an hour or 2 of this game that my exploration would be rewarded in some way. I mean, in the first half, I went out of my way to try to get every single collectible, because at some point I expected to get some sort of ability, or maybe some storytelling in form of flashbacks, or little ghosts, like how when you pick something up, like a ghost will appear and like walk around and dance or something just to show you some sort of personality. But the only thing that they could come up with was listening to the magic conch shell from SpongeBob, but instead of advice, we're hearing some ghost ASMR that doesn't really tell you enough to give a crap about. I actually just started doing bicep curls every time I found one, because it's an unskippable cutscene that lasts way too long. Eventually, I completely gave up on exploring at all, decided that I'd rather just figure out what the main path is, because, to be honest, I got lost every 10 minutes when trying to explore. I learned by the end of the game that you're going to be stuck looking for a tiny little rock indention on some random part of the mountain in order to progress the game. Now, if you skip exploring, it's not really that difficult. You can just stay the course and chill. But if you explore, damn, are you gonna struggle. This is because when you find a new area and decide to look around, eventually you realize, after you find a collectible too, that not only have you walked in a circle that leads you to a place you were 20 minutes ago, but everything looks the same. Now, I said that the environments were diverse, but Chapter 2 looks different than Chapter 3, Chapter 3 looks different than Chapter 4. But as long as you're in Chapter 2, everything looks kind of the same. This makes relocating that tiny, little convenient rock indention on the side of a mountain that you can climb way harder than just staying the course. Not to mention that there's literally zero reward for exploring at all, other than gamer score. They do have these letters that you can read, but they're literally meaningless to the story. I mean, usually they just mention like business is slow, or about how pretty the world is. I didn't understand how a game so visual would sit there and make us read words instead of being consistent in adding some sort of visual element or component to these letters. Plenty of games would have triggered an animation of the person who wrote the letter, a ghost from the past, to act out the words in front of you, giving some amount of life to the world. I mean, even Fallout, you get a holotape, you can listen to it in a way, you can have a voice actor read that letter to you, the person who wrote it. I get it. The water is gone, and there's no rain. That's why it would be perfect to show me some people through flashback imagery instead of just nothing. Not to mention that these letters could easily point you towards other collectibles, but they never do. One idea of fixing the exploration could be to include sections where our climbing equipment breaks, forcing us to find resources we need to fix it. Maybe we get hungry, so we have to pick berries and eat, or maybe we get tired, so we have to sleep, you know what I'm saying? This world definitely has enough resources for us to scavenge materials to solve problems. I swear the amount of fun and realism added to a game like this, and adding to the pacing of a game like this, that could come from simply stoking a fire, eating berries, maybe changing your outfit because you found a poncho on one of these mysterious locked doors that never open the entire game that you come across would be pretty invaluable. In Jusant, the story, or rather the lack of it, manages to pull off a rather comical feat by leaving players with zero answers for anything. As I delved into this peculiar adventure, I couldn't help but chuckle at the sheer absurdity of it. How am I not only breathing, but casually strolling around in the vacuum of space? Is this the moon? Why does my lovable animal companion have a knack for spontaneously falling ill right now? What even caused this? The real head scratcher, though, is the mysterious tower. What's the deal with this thing? Why did it wake up a posse of colossal space-breathing whales? Just when I thought things couldn't get weirder, turns out my little buddy was a baby whale, confirming how cliche this story was from start to finish. And I can't help but raise an eyebrow. Perhaps the grand finale of absurdity is this game's decision to simply dump me in a bizarre realm without any explanation, leaving me to fend for myself amidst a sea of cosmic confusion. Why are the whales leaving me here? I literally spent the entire game delivering them their baby, and they're just leaving me here. There's literally nothing to do here but die. I just spent 4 hours climbing a hot shafty rock to wake up whales who left me here. They left their baby in a desert. What is going on? Till the end of this review, we've surfed the majestic waves of Jusant, exploring its highs and lows. We've seen its stunning beauty, endured the agony of its writing, or lack thereof, and felt the bewilderment of unanswered questions that would stump even the most enigmatic space whale. While this journey may leave you scratching your head in cosmic confusion, it's important to remember that in the unpredictable world of gaming, even the quirkiest adventures have their charm. So whether you're soaring through space or curling your dumbbells during Ghost ASMR, Jusant offers a unique experience that's both thought-provoking and head-scratching. Well, mainly head-scratching. Let's end our interstellar voyage here, perhaps with more questions than answers, but with a smile on our faces, because when it comes to video games, it's all about the unforgettable, hilarious, and sometimes inexplicable adventures that keep us coming back for more. Now, if you enjoyed that video, next up is going to be Modern Warfare 3. Only the bravest need apply. We're plunging into chaos, and if you think you got what it takes, hit that subscribe button. Thank you. This was Zachy Poo. Checking out.
Dial 999, bitch, yeah, I'm doing fine. Lifting the sitting and pouring some wine. Watching the throwing, you're wasting my time. Committing a crime, Corona no lime. Getting it back in the line. Pocket full of something shine. $100 for a dime, that's an hour of a time. After that, bitch is mine. Crazy.